Hello, my name is Bengisu Cagiltay. I am a PhD candidate at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And in this video, I'm going to talk over my poster presentation as part of the HRI 2024 Pioneers Workshop. So I will walk you through my poster and I'll try to um, also annotate as I go through. So bear with me while I try to set this up. Like I said, um, so in my research, I'm really passionate about taking this family-centered approach to design, explore, design, and evaluate how social robots can be useful in facilitating family routines that could eventually support the long-term evaluation of human-robot interaction. So given that I have applied this work in basically three main pillars. Let's clear all of these drawings. Basically three main pillars. And my first line of work mainly focuses on understanding families' preferences for having social robots in the home. My second line of work focuses on specific design considerations of having robots in the home. And my third line of work focuses on, which is my future work, how can we design robot facilitated routines to support long-term family robot interactions. So I'll try to walk through all the work that I've conducted and give you the key takeaways on how I eventually focus on this goal. Basically my dissertation will be arguing that we can provide value to families and also address the technical challenge of long-term interaction within HRI through shared family routines. So focusing on my first line of work, the main takeaways or what I've conducted in this work was we have conducted a co-design session with children and family members that also included pretend play activities with a social robot. Here, families co-created scenarios, they acted them out, and then they also discussed their preferences for having a robot in their home. Here we found three key findings through a thematic analysis, mainly focusing on the robot's role. We found that children saw the robot more as a companion or as a friend for themselves, while parents mostly see it as an assistant for themselves or more of like a utility use case. From here, we also dive deep into group interactions and scenarios that involve multiple family members. And in this line of findings, we found that children prefer the robot to have priorities between family members. An example could be first come, first served model, or if the child is interacting with the robot, they have priority, and like someone else cannot just come in and get priority over the agent. While parents instead they wanted to have more authority over the robot, saying that the robot should listen to them, listen to their commands, and etc. So there's some minor conflicts here due to the different dynamics within families. A third line of findings focused on the privacy concerns that children and families had. However, I want to highlight that these are not traditional data privacy concerns. These were very interesting in the sense that they were conversational privacy concerns. So more like having this agent in this multi-party group interaction setting, how would the information flow between one member to another? If a child shares a secret, would that secret be shared with the parent? Especially given the conflicts before about the authority and etc. So they had conversations around these privacy concerns, um, and um, and this was one of the key findings within our study. So moving on from this line of work, what we what I've done in the next set of my work was focusing on designing specific let's see designing specific interactions for social robots, and then exploring how children and families interact with them. So here I've separated this into three main pillars. First, we looked into caretaking routines. We were specifically focusing on how children would prefer to take care of a social robot. Then we also looked into play-based routines, looking into how technology can support, robots can support robot mediated play. And third, and one of my biggest line of work focused on reading routines, and I will dive into this in a minute. Starting from the caretaking study, here we conducted a participatory design study, and we asked what types of care activities children would prefer to conduct with a social robot. And here we found that children were lenient toward taking care of a robot in their morning, nighttime, and recreational routines, as well as they discussed, we evaluated different types of routines that promoted more connection making or utility within the agent, between the agents. Secondly, I will focus on our technology probe study, where we delivered a social robot within family homes, and we explored what type of robot facilitated play activities children and parents would want to be involved in. And these typically focused on activities such as dancing, yoga, and playing music. And in the study, we also explored and co-designed future design elements, such as what should the experience look like for taking a robot outside of its box for the first time. Finally, and one of my key studies that was really impactful in my dissertation was this 1-month field study of a reading companion robot, a highly collaborative project that we eventually deployed this reading companion robot in 16 families' homes for 1 month, and it was an unsupervised, fully autonomous in-home deployment. And there are a lot of elements that went into this, both logistically and also technically, which I'm happy to talk about further. However, I want to just highlight some of the key takeaways, specifically looking into the children's experiences with the robot, where children would read aloud to the robot, and the robot would respond back to the child. So the child would be doing the reading, and our team programmed the robot to facilitate, to promote social connections, knowledge support, and interest support in a way that it could respond to the child related to the content that is included in the book. So we found that children's experiences for reading a robot was affected by several critical factors that influenced their long-term interaction. This was really a big part of this project, where we realized when you put a robot within the home and you expect a child and a robot to interact with it, it goes beyond the child, and all of these environmental factors have an effect on the one-on-one engagement between the child and the robot, which is super influential in my dissertation and the way I look at child robot and family robot interactions now. Through video analysis, we were able to identify that even though this was designed for the child and the robot, several family members within the home were excited to be part of the routine, either directly or indirectly. And basically, this finding inspired and led me to take this more family-centered approach and influence my next line of work, which will be the last leg of my dissertation, looking into how robot-facilitated routines can support long-term family-robot interactions. And and I'm trying to shift towards from a child-centered perspective to a family-centered perspective, given everything we've learned in the past. So here, you may realize that I mentioned the term family robot interactions instead of child robot interactions. This inherently suggests that multiple members will be involved within this interaction in one way or another, either as active participant or passive observer. But we're looking at it in a holistic family lens. So as a first step, what I want to do is propose a personalized family robot integration plan. And this is heavily inspired by child development media literature that proposes family media use plans, which promotes connections and more regulation and media use within the home. So drawing from literature from, again, more pediatrics, child psychology and development, I want to apply this in the HRI context. And once we propose this plan, I argue that this can be supportive in setting and maintaining long-term family-robot interactions and routines. So what we want to do is once we have this integration plan, I want to propose several robot facilitated routines for families and then evaluate family robot interactions within here. The steps that I want to take within creating this family robot integration plan includes this first step of a first draft of a family robot integration plan, drawing elements from the family media use plan, focusing on identifying specific routines. And then as researchers, we want to select the technically feasible family routines that are highly preferred by families. And then from there, specify specific robot design requirements. We will then prototype and test selected interactions for family robot routines and also evaluate the long-term effectiveness of a family robot integration plan. So these are the last leg of work that I'm focusing on to wrap up my dissertation. But overall, my work so far focuses on this family-centered approach where we explore, design, and evaluate social robots for long-term use, specifically in the context of facilitating family routines to support long-term human-robot interaction. You can access the PDF of this poster in my personal webpage. You can also access a lot of these papers that I refer to from my Google Scholar website or my personal webpage. Again, if you reach out to me via email, I'm happy to chat about any of these aspects regarding my past work and my current and ongoing work. And this is a topic of research that I'm extremely passionate about, always trying to learn, try to bring insights from surrounding fields and domains. So again, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love talking about this topic. And yeah, hope this talk over my poster has been helpful, useful, inspirational, and don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.